Creating an award-winning mead is more than just following a recipe. It's a fun mix of choosing the best honey, trying out different fruits and spices, and getting the fermentation just right. Every step is a blend of art and science. So are you ready to start this tasty adventure? Let's dive into mead making and learn how to create a drink that could win the top award at a BJCP Mead competition. My name is John, and I'm a BJCP National Beer Judge and Mead Judge. And I'm also a sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers. With over 20 years of experience making award-winning meads, I'm here to share my secrets with you. Let's start taking your mead making skills to the next level. My approach to mead making is detailed, focusing on cleanliness and carefully managed fermentation to ensure quality in the shortest possible time. I pay close attention to every step from beginning to end, although a lot of it has become very routine for me. But before I dive in, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me keep bringing you awesome and important mead making content that you can use on your next mead batch. And don't forget to go to the description or comments to get the link to my ebook, The Practical Mead-Maker, and also the link to my AI mead making tools. Whether you're a seasoned mead maker or just starting out, this ebook and tools offer you valuable insights to enhance your mead making. Also, stay tuned for an upcoming bonus tip later in the video. So here's my basic process I use on every mead batch, regardless if it's a Melomel, a Sizer, Pyment, a Boucher, whatever. I clean and sanitize everything that will come into contact with my mead must. I sanitize my fermenter, either it's plastic, glass, a bucket, whatever. I take a pH reading on my water. I take a pH reading on my honey with some water. The best pH target range for my yeast health during fermentation is between 4 and 4.6, as it supports yeast activity and helps prevent the growth of unwanted bacteria. However, it is always a good idea to refer to specifications for the particular yeast strain being used to ensure optimal fermentation conditions. Then I take a cup of water and 1/3 cup of honey and stir it up until it's completely mixed, and take a pH reading to determine the approximate pH of my must pre-fermentation. This allows me to adjust pH, which is the acidity levels, as needed. Mix 3 parts of alkaline water, pH 8 to 9.5, with 1 part honey. Generally, for me to get to an 1120 original gravity, which is my preferred original gravity, I use about 3 parts of alkaline water, generally between 8 and 9.5, with 1 to 1.5 parts honey. Next, I measure out the amount of honey needed for the batch and then add water and stir it until it's completely mixed. I take another pH reading to determine the approximate pH of my must before adding the yeast. And this again allows me to adjust the pH, again acidity levels, if needed. I never ever heat the honey. However, many mead makers heat their honey to approximately 100 degrees Fahrenheit to ease mixing and getting it out of the container, sometimes to 140 for pasteurization, but I don't do that. I also never use sulfites. A lot of people do, a lot of pro mead makers do, I do not. I take gravity, I record the specific gravity and temperature for future reference. I use a refractometer as well as a hydrometer. I target 1120 original gravity and 1020 finished gravity for a standard semi-sweet mead, which will be approximately 13 to 13.5% alcohol. When I don't use a spunding valve, I attach an airlock to the fermenter. I add nutrients to the mead must in several stages, usually a 4-stage schedule, and I only use Fermate O. And I prefer Fermate O over Fermate K, and I never use DAP. Fermate O is especially beneficial because it does not contribute to the increase of inorganic nitrogen in the must, making it a safer choice in terms of avoiding production of unwanted compounds like hydrogen sulfide. The average dose that I do is approximately 1.25 grams per gallon. A rough approximation of weight would be 1 teaspoon equals 4.7 grams. I usually ferment cold, under 70 degrees, usually 65 to 68 inside the vessel. It's best to ferment as per the yeast temperature specifications. Usually under 66 degrees is best. And it's important to keep the temperature just right for the yeast. If it's too hot, the yeast gets stressed and it makes the mead taste bad. You produce fusel alcohols during the first 72 hours as well. You don't want to do that. If it's too cold, the yeast stops working. So the perfect temperature is very important. So it'll keep the yeast happy so it can eat the honey sugars and turn them into alcohol the right way, making sure the mead tastes great. When not using a spunding valve, and I'll get into the spunding valve later, I degass twice a day with a wine whip into my drill or just a regular degassing tool that I could stir it around with. I regularly adjust the pH to ensure it's within range suitable for yeast health and activity, which is usually slightly acidic, over 3.8. Fermentation finishes when the yeast stops working and the sweetness level I want is reached, which I know because of the specific gravity stays the same for 2 weeks. After that, I cool down the fermenter to below 42 degrees Fahrenheit, a process called cold crashing. This helps all the stuff that's not liquid settle to the bottom. I usually wait 2 to 3 weeks after I cold crash to see that all the stuff is at the bottom before I transfer the must to a different vessel or bottle it. This also helps keep the must tasting good and prevents off flavors. I generally don't use fining agents, but a lot of mead makers and certainly professional mead makers use fining agents to stabilize it, to prevent the fermentation from restarting when adding additional honey or fruit after primary fermentation is complete. I also adjust the mead's balance by adding sweetness, acidity, tannins, or other components based on my taste. Now, as I promised you, I have a special bonus tip for you. But first, please like and subscribe to the channel. Here's the bonus tip. Optimize your mead's fermentation with a spunding valve and take your mead fermentation to the next level. Spunding valves are ideal for both beginners and experienced mead makers. A spunding valve allows you to control the pressure within your fermentation vessel by releasing excess CO2 while maintaining a set pressure level. A spunding valve helps naturally carbonate mead and fine-tune fermentation characteristics. Enhance your brewing process and achieve superior results with this essential tool. For more information and details on how to use the spunding valve, click the link in the description or watch the upcoming video linked at the end of this video. It's all about spunding valves. Again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It helps me keep bringing you awesome mead making content. For more information about spunding valves, check the video up here.